There are just 2 weeks left before the nation defaults on its debts. With that deadline looming, President Joe Biden is in Japan for this year's G7 summit. There are signs tonight the White House and congressional Republicans are inching closer to a deal to raise the debt limit. But some Democrats are urging the president to sidestep Republicans altogether. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
Mr. President, can you guarantee allies that the U.S. won't default?
In Japan, President Biden ignored shouted questions about the biggest crisis facing him back home, the fight over raising the nation's debt limit. But the lead Republican negotiator, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, is now striking his most optimistic tone yet that a deal will get done before a looming deadline just 2 weeks away.
We're not there. We haven't agreed to anything yet, but I see the path that we could come to an agreement.
With the president overseas, the White House has Vice President Kamala Harris making its pitch to the American people.
Congress must act to prevent default.
Economists warn without a deal, a default could cause interest rates to skyrocket on bonds, credit cards, and some mortgages, according to a White House report, and potentially lead to millions of lost jobs. Republicans are pushing for budget cuts and new work requirements on some welfare recipients as conditions to raise the limit, deal breakers for some progressives.
You do not balance the budget on the backs of children and elderly.
Even with negotiations ongoing, Republicans are bashing the president for attending the G7.
What does the president do after saying the sky is falling? He leaves town.
In a letter, several Democrats are urging the president to ignore Republican demands altogether, instead telling him to invoke the 14th Amendment to raise the debt limit, an untested move which would face legal challenges.
We are saying to the president, examine this closely. We have your back.
But at this point, the White House appears reluctant to use that option. Chris Pallone, NBC News.